Hello, hello, happy Tuesday. I'm going live because I'm going to do a client spotlight. If you are not familiar with me, my name is Kamashay Pruitt, also known as KP, and I am the CEO and founder of Tower Above Financial Solutions, where I help my clients tower above their finances and walk in dominions and authority over their finances. So that's who I am. And I'm just waiting for Kim to come on in because that's who we are interviewing.
Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Kim, you just popped in. So,
Did I scare you?
awesome. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm trying to get this thing.
Huh? Say it again.
I said I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I lost my train of thought. I was going to say something. Forgot what I was going to say. So, I like the hat and the hair and the glasses. I like it.
I was gonna say you give it face too. Okay. I see the curls. Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't even have to use my the heat. So I was like, oh, okay, no heat today.
Oh,
So
good. That's a winning day. That's a winning type of day when you don't have to get no. I'm with it.
yes, awesome. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to let me interview you live because I know like personal finance is a very personal topic, but I feel like we need to have more open conversations about it to help people just get used to talking about it, and so that when we need to get help in certain areas, it doesn't feel so taboo or we don't feel shameful or whatever the case may be. I see Kayla and Cherise. Thanks so much for being here. We really, really are happy that you are here. So we're doing a client spotlight. I'm going to just kind of talk about my interactions with Kim, and then I have some questions that I'm gonna ask her, but I'm gonna let her introduce her own self. But I started working with Kim, I want to say in January or February timeframe. I feel like we had our consultation in December of last year. Because I was like going back through some records a couple of months ago, and I was like, oh wow, it was you and some other people who I did consultations with last December. But and so we started. We a lot of my clients, I will say like pretty much all of them, we click on some different levels. And you have to be talking about money, and we need to click on some level. You have to have some type of relationship for us to be able to talk about that. So so we clicked, and I was really excited to help her and her husband start this financial journey. But yeah, I felt like I asked him to let me highlight her or spotlight her because I felt like her story is very relatable, and she's a very relatable person. And so with the last client spotlight, I did a reel, which was cool, whatever. But I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool if I can just have the client speak for themselves and me not speak for them. So that's what we're doing this afternoon. So Kim, let us know who you are, what you do, and then we'll jump into the interview.
All right. Who am I? My name is Kimberly Dedine, rhymes with divine if you need to know the pronunciation. But I'm also known as a joy chemist, and as a joy chemist, I am here I am commissioned to ensure everyone enjoys every aspect of their journey. I am also I'm a wife of 7 years, been together almost 17 years coming up in January. So That's my boo thing. I'm also a entrepreneur, newly full-time entrepreneur. So y'all pray for me. But I'm also an author. My book just came out November 11th. I'm also an inspirational speaker, a newly found hostess with the mostest, MC. And I'm also the founder. For entrepreneurship, I'm the founder and CEO of Pure Chemistry. My company is the missing element to your aromatic experience.
Come on.
I mean, I had to, I got to give it a little something. So you don't want to do an event without Pure Chemistry. We're your missing element. We can elevate your event, your wedding, your company. If you want personalized brand candles, we do those private label candles. So I also do a consultation, a new consultation. It's called the Chemistry Creative Lab. It's like a thought incubator. So I meet with my people, we sit and we chat. If they feel like they're being blocked creatively, we kind of get down to the root of what's going on. But also if they have ideas that they're playing around with, they don't know, exactly how to take that step out to actually do that. We talk about those things. And then I'm also the founder and co-visionary of a women's network called Dope Divine Network. Dope stands for Divine Opulent Peaceful Elegance, sorry. And that is a heart birth network that I birthed out of a period of isolation that I had. And it was something that I wish, it was back when everyone was talking about, get a seat at the table, get a seat at the table. And I was like, God, I don't have no table. And he was like, make one. And I was like, okay. So he had me make a table. And it's just a unique table where women can come, all types of women can come and be their unique, authentic selves and have a great time collabing on not just business, but life itself, being a wife, being a sister, daughter, friend, what have you. Everybody come and we hang out and we blossoming because we going to the next level. We gonna be out here in these streets doing some things. So that I'm gonna stop there.
Well, awesome. And then I'm gonna shout you out on my behalf. So on your behalf. So if you don't already have Kim's first debut, premiere, all the words book, then you need to go ahead and as she said, shimmy your hips over to Amazon and get your copy. So I haven't read it, but I have flipped through it and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna need to be in the right mind when I read this. This is not just a quick read. Like you need to be in your right mind. So if you don't already have the book, go ahead, follow Kim. And I'm pretty sure she probably has the link to her book in your bio. Like, what's the best way to get the book?
So my link is in the bio, but you can also go to purechemistry.com. Everything is there. I'm actively updating my website as God gives me more things to add to it, but you can find everything there. Private label application if you want to get in on getting you some specialty candles, specialty wax melts. I also have bundles there for sale right now. My book is there as well. So you just want to follow. You never know what's going to happen, okay? You never know. Just follow the chemistry, okay?
Yes. And the name of the book is Reaction of Grace. So in case you want to search for it on Amazon, but definitely check her out. And so I wanted her to share like her background, who she is, because let me tell y'all, I am called to women, to high achieving women. And you see, she named a whole list of things that she is called to do. And so, I mean, even last month, or earlier this month, I highlighted Amina Wells. She is a high achieving woman as well. So all the women in the PFB network, which now I originally started working with Kim as a one-on-one client. And we did that for, I think you did the 6-month package when I was offering the 6-month package. And so we did that for 6 months. Sometimes her husband would come in on the sessions, which I love. I love her husband. He is awesome. He'd be half asleep. He'd be half asleep in some of those sessions because he would just get off of work because they have opposite shifts. But he just to see his transition through this process, even though I wasn't always meeting with him on a regular basis, but they were having conversations. So, but I don't want to give away too much of what she's going to talk about. So let's go ahead and jump into the interview. Hey, Mocha, thanks so much for being here. So I want you to explain like what happened or what thought process, like what did you think to yourself where you were like, you know what, I need a financial professional to help me. So like what happened?
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just be authentic and be real. So let me sit back. Y'all might want to sit back. Okay.
Okay.
What had happened was, okay. So it was towards the end of the year and I'm like, look, God, we can't do this no more. Like there has got to be more for us. There's got to be more for me and my husband. There is no way that we should be living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of our lives. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. So what is it? What do I need to do? And he told me well, you need to get your finances together. And I'm like, I've never been taught that. I've never been taught how to do that. So you have to send me somebody to help us figure this out. And I don't want it to be just anybody that works with finances. Like, God, I need somebody. And that's crazy. I'm just having a real revelation that I said, God, I need somebody that I can have a connection with that will understand me and my husband. I don't want nobody that's just going to come out here and just say, do this, do that, do this, and be done. I can't get down with that. We cannot get down with that. And so literally 4 days later, you pinged me into a room on Clubhouse. And it didn't have like a formal title or anything. It just said pop-up prayer, I think, for finances or something like that. And I hopped in. And legit, the rest was history. I booked a session. I was like, God, I don't have that much money to book a session. And sessions, the discovery was free. But the session, I'm like, we barely have anything to really book the session. But I know faith without works is dead. We have to do something to get this to change. Because I refuse to go through another year like this. And so, boom, we had the discovery call in December. And then we met in January, and we've been rocking ever since.
Awesome. So you share some parts of your story that I didn't know. So but that's awesome. Like the thing that stuck out to me because I've realized just like over the time that I have helped people with their finances, whether I was like formally doing it or I was just doing it on the side just because I felt led to do it. It's always people like, one, they don't want they feel intimidated or they feel shameful. And then number two, they don't want to pay for it. They're like, well, I'm broke. So how you want me to pay you to help with my finances when I'm broke? So like what happened to where you were willing to like, were you did you feel any shame or any guilt? And if so, how did you push past that? And then did you have like any reservations about paying someone to help you with your finances?
Absolutely. And it was all, looking back, it was all mindset. Because like I said, growing up, like me and my sister didn't get to learn about how to manage money, how to manage finances and things like that. So as an adult, I'm like, I'm 30 some years old and I've been working since I was 14. How do I know how to make money, but I don't know what to do on the back end of saving this here. I know how to have a bank account, but putting a little bit of it away here so you can do this and do that and make sure you budget so you know where it's coming in and where it's going out. Like none of that made sense. Like anybody could talk to me and my husband and we like, what? What are you talking about? And so it absolutely, it was all in the mind. Like it was a reservation. Like December is a heavy month for us. It's me and my husband's, both of our birthdays. It's Christmas. It's end of the year. It's everything. And so I'm just like, I was tired of crying all the time. Like, God, why don't I have no money at the end of the year? Like, we got all these people out here that can ball out and do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3. Why I can't ball out for my family? And, we don't have children yet. But even though I don't have children, I should have more money because of that. And that was my messed up mindset. Because first of all, I'm looking at what everybody else got going on, not knowing if they breaking the bank to pay to get their
Right.
everything. Like, you don't know what everybody else is going through. But it was the mindset thing of, why everybody else doing it? Why can't we do it? What's going on with us? We work hard. We do this. We do that. And so it was absolutely a mindset shift. Like, what are we doing, God? It's something has to be different. We refuse to walk through another year not having anything at the end of the year.
Yeah. When you said what's wrong with us, I feel like so many of us are saying that. I said that when I first started on my financial journey, like, what's wrong with me? Like, I'm a business administration major and I can't even do a budget. Like what's up? What's wrong with me? So the thing is, there's nothing wrong with us. We just need to be taught how to do it.
Right.
And it's something that we wasn't taught to do. So we have to get to a point to where we are humble enough and wise enough that we will reach out and ask for help. So that was really good. So it's all about that mindset shift, which y'all know I love talking about a kingdom money mindset. So that's my signature thing. I gotta get it trademarked. So
See, it's ingrained in me now. It's ingrained.
yes. Yes. All right. So what was the biggest problem? Like, what was your biggest problem and how did I help you with it?
The biggest problem, I don't want to jump ahead, but the funny thing is when you work with KP, you start out, you think you're talking about money, but you end up doing other things that money is stemmed from. So the major shift, and I believe I told you this, the major shift I saw, and even this is still a short amount of time. We're in November, about to go into December. So 11 months is our mindset shift. Our mindsets have shifted because it was almost as if we felt unworthy to have more. And to know and understand that it's possible for us. There's nothing wrong with us. We just have to learn how to get to point A to point B to point Z. But we're worthy to have more, which we just need the tools and the steps in between to get there. And where I was, because I think I lost it on one of our calls. At the beginning, my husband was not on board. It was a struggle to get him to get on board, to be like, hey, we need to do this. We need to get these things together so we can be set for when stuff starts popping off for us, we're set to go. And he was like, well, we don't need to. We can do that by ourselves. Like, we can just Google something and Google a budget and, fill things out. And I'm like, bruh, if we can do that, we would have did that already. And we've been married for 7 years and been together for, at that point, 16 years. We haven't did it yet. So if we were capable of doing that, we would have done that already. So no, I was willing to have an argument about that, because like I said from the beginning, I refuse to walk through this next year as we did last year. And so he was just like, all right. And then, so we would have our meetings. And I think the first 3 or 4 meetings, maybe 3 meetings, he didn't show up. He didn't show up for whatever reason. I'm like, all right, God, I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do, but I'm gonna need you to handle that. And so what I did was I would still sit down and do the things in front of him. I will sit down and do the things in front of him. I will pull out the budget and do it in front of him. I will ask him questions about the budget and, hey, what you think we should put over here? And then I said, well, KP said in our meeting that we have to do XYZ 1, 2, 3. And it got to the point where his wheels were turning and he was like, okay, all right. And then that faithful appointment, he showed up, and he was a little out of it because our schedules are different, but he was dedicated. And his mind, once he started to see things shift, just a little bit, I mean, a random check for $20 come in the mail. And I was over there. I was like, oh my God, I got money in the mail. This is real. This is real. I was losing it. I was losing it. He was just like, it's $20. I'm like, nah, you don't understand. That was $20 that we didn't do anything for it. That $20 check just showed up in the mail. And if I could rejoice over $20 when a $20,000 checks come in, I'm going to lose my mind. So I just want you to know. And he started to show up in our meetings. And he would make sacrifices to show up in our meetings. He would be working third shift and he would stay up an extra 30 minutes so he can get in and sit in with us just to see what we're talking about. And you had a couple things for him, and then he was like, all right, y'all, I got to go to bed. He had to go to bed. But it was going from a husband being stubborn to not wanting to participate to making a sacrifice to participate. And now with I know this is a long story, but it's just,
no, come on.
Now it's to the point where he beats me to the budgeting. He'll beat me to, hey, I put in the receipts from this last week, so the budget is all good to go. I'm like, what? I didn't even have to say anything. But or sometimes I'll be like, hey, if he had a couple days that he worked in a row, and I say, hey, I updated the budget for us real quick. He was like, oh, I already did that. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, you know what? That was like a waste of my 15 minutes, but it was, I don't mind. I don't mind because his eyes are opening up. His eyes are opening up. And it's just this year has been a year, but I wouldn't change. I would not change it. I would not change it. So that was a long answer, but that's how you helped. You helped with our mindsets. It's to the point where my husband, I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on with this. He was like, that's all right, because increase is coming. And I'm like, what is happening? What is going on? Like, this is so cool. And I'm like, as a wife, I didn't have to do much. I didn't have to say, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, I simply did what I was supposed to do in front of him, which sparked interest and planted seeds within him to be like, all right, she keep doing this and she been consistent about it. Let me see what's going on. Like, I didn't have to overwork myself as a wife to get my husband to get on board with something that we both need to do. So that's how you helped.
You said so much, and that's why I was like, no, just keep saying it, because you saying what people need to hear, I think so. There was multiple things. So one thing was like, so like you and your husband were both not on the same page at first, but you could see what it is that God was telling you to do. Like it was, like, well, I can't be disobedient to God. So let me go ahead and, but then it's, long story short, faith, like leaps of faith. When we step out on leaps of faith and we are obedient, God will make room. He will increase us.
Yes.
So not only did he increase you all in the spiritual realm, he increased you in mentally as well. He allowed your mind to be shifted. And he gave you a little seed too. He gave you a little seed that came to the mail. Be like, this is the beginning of what's to come. And so I think that's really important. And I wanted to highlight that because, again, people get stuck on, well, I can't afford to pay for financial coaching or counseling. Like, that's the reason I'm in the financial issue I am now. But when there's something that we really want, we've been backwards and forward and sideways to get that thing that we want. And so if you know that your more is on the other side of you working with a coach like me, then why not invest in yourself? And not only and I'm kind of speaking for you, but not only did Kim and her husband reap the benefits of, financially or whatever, like God's been giving you clarity and shifting your mindset, and you've been able to make some moves just from that one step of obedience. Your marriage, like, y'all are closer now, just from the conversations that me and you have had. Me and her husband, me and Dennis, we be talking on Facebook like we met each other in person, but we haven't. Like, okay, B and posted something. It was like, oh, didn't they posted something? Let me go, like, whatever. So, but it's all from that one step of faith, that one leap of faith. So I think that speaks volumes. And this, again, this is the reason why I didn't say anything about you like telling the story, because I felt like you were going in the direction that people needed to hear. So
actually, can I add on? Because